Welcome to today's episode. We're diving into CIE's January tips and tricks with a theme we can all relate to, a case of the Mondays. This episode was produced with the help of NotebookLM, and we can't wait to share these insights with you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
The Alberta Teachers Association respectfully acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10 territories, the traveling route, gathering place and meeting grounds for Indigenous peoples, whose histories, languages, cultures, and traditions continue to influence our vibrant community. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today, and those who have gone before us. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting.
Attention amazing Alberta inclusive educators. Mark your calendars for the 2025 Council for Inclusive Education Annual Conference, Celebrating the Challenges, happening May 23rd and 24th at Hotel Arts in Calgary. This year, we're thrilled to welcome Dr. Lori DeZotel and Joanna Johnson as our keynote speakers, bringing their expertise and passion for inclusive education. Don't miss out on this opportunity to connect, learn, and be inspired. For all the details, follow CIE on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook or visit cheducation.ca. See you there.
Okay, so let's be real here. It's Monday.
Right.
And I'm guessing, well, you're probably feeling that back to the grind kind of vibe, you know?
Ugh. Yeah.
Well, today we're going to dive into this pretty fascinating document, actually, called Case of the Mondays. And it seems like it's all about, well, tackling those crazy Monday mornings, especially for, like, teachers in the classroom. You know those Monday morning struggles?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But before we get into, like, all the details and stuff, I just got to share my own epic Monday fail.
Oh, okay.
So picture this, right? Me, I'm trying to make some, pancakes, whip them up. And then I realize, like, I totally forgot the baking powder.
Oh, no.
Let's just say flat pancakes, not the best way to start the week.
Oh, I can totally sympathize with that. It's crazy how, like, one little thing can just throw the whole morning off.
Right.
And that's kind of what this document, it really emphasizes that, The teacher, their own, preparedness, that's key to having a good day, setting the tone.
So, like, walk me through this a little.
Okay, sure.
It starts off with a checklist for teachers. Lesson prepped. Coffee brewed. Even, like, waking up early enough to feel calm and, collected. Seems pretty basic, but is there more to it?
Absolutely. Think of it like you're building a foundation for your whole week. Those little routines like, I don't know, your coffee or even just getting your desk organized.
Yeah.
They seem small, but they help you feel in control.
Okay.
And that's huge for managing stress and like staying focused. And it's not just teachers, right? Anyone who's got a busy week ahead.
I see, yeah.
It's like you're priming your brain to have a smooth week.
Okay, so getting things set up, like the groundwork.
Right.
Now, there's this interesting question in here. Where are you when students arrive?
Oh, yeah.
At your desk, rushing to finish something, or like at the door, greeting each kid as they come in?
It's a good point, actually.
Why does that, like, small detail matter so much?
Well, think about it. It's all about first impressions. Like, imagine you go into a store, right? And someone greets you with a nice, like, hello, versus you're totally ignored. Which one makes you feel better? Like, they care.
Yeah, of course.
Same in the classroom. Being at the door, saying hi to each kid. It shows you're happy they're there. And that can make a huge difference, especially on a Monday, right?
Makes sense, setting the mood,
Right.
So we got the teacher ready, classroom set up, kids are starting to come in, and then, bam, the document says it perfectly. They forgot everything.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Monday morning brain drain.
Oh, it's real.
But here's the thing. It actually suggests, like, a 5 to 10 minute review of expectations every single Monday. Is that, like, really necessary? Doesn't that get old?
It might seem like it, but there's a good reason. Think of it like the rules on a basketball court, right? Every time you step on, the lines, the rules, how you play, it's like order, right? Same in class. That review after the weekend helps everyone get back on track.
Interesting. So it's not just about, like, reminding them. It's about setting up the day to, like, work.
Right. Expectations, boundaries, all that.
Okay, now let's talk about those fun friends, the ones who, come in with that extra Monday energy.
Yeah.
The document actually has this acronym, SOS, meaning So overwhelming it sucks.
Catchy.
I know, right?
That's pretty accurate.
And it lists all these reasons for that that energy, like routine changes over the weekend, maybe too much screen time, things at home.
Right, right. And the thing is, you got to remember, behavior, it's often a sign of something more going on.
Oh, okay.
What a kid does in class, it could be because of things outside of school, stuff we don't even see.
So it's like we're seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. There's a whole lot more under the surface.
So it's about seeing the whole picture.
Whole child, yeah.
Not just like what they're doing in class at that moment. And the document really pushes connecting with families, like early on, before things get, out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a good relationship with parents, that can give you so much insight into why a kid might be acting a certain way.
Yeah.
And then everyone's, on the same team trying to help the kid.
Okay, so this next part, this is what really got me. There's a section called Paradigm Check-In.
Paradigm check-in.
Yeah. And it starts with this big question, how do you see them? Like, how do teachers view their students? What's so important about that question?
Oh, that's where things get really interesting. How we see things as teachers, as people, it impacts everything, There's this thing called the Pygmalion effect, where basically what we expect from people can actually affect how they do,
Wait, so you're saying, like, just by believing in a kid, a teacher can help them do better?
It's not like magic or anything, but studies show that what we believe, it can become real, a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we see a student as smart, capable, we give them chances to succeed. But if we think they're, trouble or not motivated, we might accidentally hold them back.
Whoa, that's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the flip side too, right? How do they see you?
Oh, that's important too.
Yeah.
Our energy, our tone, how we act, it all sends a message. Are we approachable, supportive, or stressed and impatient? Our own mood, it affects everyone in the room.
It's not just what you say, it's how you act. You got to create that environment where everyone feels like safe and respected.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the document mentions this bucket idea.
Oh, yeah, the bucket.
That visual thing, right? Like how much we can handle emotionally.
Exactly. The bucket analogy, it's a really good way to understand our own emotions and other people's too. We all have this bucket that gets filled with good stuff, feeling loved, appreciated, successful. But things can drain it too. Stress, frustration, discouragement. And when our buckets are running low, well, we're more likely to, snap at someone or make bad decisions. It's harder to connect with people, right?
Oh, totally. It's like those days when you're just stressed out.
Yeah.
It's harder to be, patient and understanding.
Right, exactly. And it makes me think about those fun friend moments,
Yeah, those kids.
Maybe they're acting up because their buckets are feeling a little empty.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's like their behavior. It's their way of saying, hey, I need something.
So how do we, help them fill their buckets back up?
Well, it starts with making sure everyone feels safe and respected, right?
Yeah.
Giving encouragement, noticing when they try hard,
Yeah.
celebrating the good stuff, even the small wins,
Okay.
really listening to them,
Yeah.
showing them we care, offering help when they need it.
It's like building a culture of kindness, not just in class, but everywhere.
Absolutely. And it's not just big things, it's the little everyday stuff that can make a difference. A smile, a nice comment, just taking a minute to connect with someone.
Yeah, those little things add up. It's like you said, that ripple effect. It makes me think about those personalized rewards we were talking about.
Yeah.
The document says to, go beyond the typical stuff and figure out what really motivates each kid,
Oh, for sure.
What are some examples of how that might work?
So let's say you have a student who loves to read.
Okay.
Instead of a sticker chart, maybe you let them pick a book from the library.
Oh, yeah.
Or even share a story with the class. Or imagine a kid who's really into art. You could let them, design the bulletin board.
Cool.
Or illustrate a poem or something.
I see. You're making the reward fit their interests. It's tapping into what they already love.
Yeah, exactly. You're encouraging them to do things because they want to, not just for a prize.
And it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, not at all.
Sometimes a little thing can mean a lot. A nice note, a high five, or just, taking a moment to really connect with them.
Exactly. Just showing them you see them and you care.
So we've talked about, setting up for a good Monday, understanding why kids act the way they do, how our perceptions matter, and those personalized rewards.
Right.
Now, the document ends with this thing called the Monday debrief.
Okay.
It's like a review of the day,
Yeah.
what went well, what could have been better.
Do you think that's useful? Like, not just for teachers, but for anyone?
Totally. Taking time to reflect, to think about what happened. That's how we grow, you know?
So how do we do that, like, the right way? How do we turn those Monday mess-ups into something we can learn from?
We'll start by asking yourself some, honest questions like, what was I hoping to accomplish today? Did I do it? If not, why not? What were the tough parts? How did I handle them? What could I have done differently?
So it's about being honest, but also kind to yourself.
No, it's not about beating yourself up. It's about figuring out what you can do better next time. The document gives some questions for teachers to think about, like, if the kids didn't get something, how could I explain it better? Could I use hands-on stuff? What about having them teach each other?
I like that.
It's like it's encouraging them to get creative and try new things.
Being flexible and, meeting the kids where they're at, that's so important.
Yeah.
What works for one kid might not work for another, The key is to be willing to try different things and keep learning as a teacher.
It's like we're all scientists, in a way, doing experiments, and seeing what works.
That's a good way to put it. And it reminds us that learning is a journey. It never really ends,
So as we kind of wrap up this look at Case of the Mondays, what are your main takeaways? What do you want people to remember?
Well, for me, it's how everything is connected.
Okay.
The teacher's mindset, the classroom, how the kids act, the parents, it all works together. It's like an ecosystem.
It all has to be in sync, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it reminds us we're not just individuals, we're part of something bigger. And when we work together, when we support each other, that's when amazing things happen.
I love that. It's like even on those crazy Mondays when it feels like everything's falling apart, there's still good stuff happening.
Absolutely. And those tough times, that's often when we learn the most.
So we're moving into the last part of our deep dive here. And I'm wondering, how can we take these ideas and use them outside of school? Like in our everyday lives? How do we turn those, Case of the Mondays moments into chances to grow and connect and maybe even have some fun?
Well, you got to start by realizing that everyone gets those Monday blues. We all have those days when we're just drained and grumpy,
But what if we could change how we see Mondays? What if instead of dreading them, we thought of them as a good thing?
That's when things get interesting. It's about shifting your mindset, what if Monday was a chance to start fresh?
Oh, I like that.
To set some new goals, come at the week with new energy.
Turn those Monday blues into Monday momentum.
Exactly. And it starts with those little things you choose to do. Maybe you have a mindful morning routine.
Okay.
Or you set some realistic goals for the week. Or even just connecting with someone who makes you happy.
Yeah, little things that make you feel good.
Right. Fuel you up for the week.
Speaking of good stuff, what about those strategies from Case of the Mondays? Can we use those in our everyday life, not just school?
Oh, totally.
What about that paradigm check-in thing?
That's a good one. It's not just for teachers. It's about remembering that how we see things, it affects everything. If we go into every interaction thinking the best of people, we're going to build better connections.
So don't assume the worst, assume the best.
Yeah. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Be understanding. Remember, everyone's dealing with their own stuff,
Assume good intentions.
Exactly. We get to choose how we react to the world.
And the document talks about giving those personalized rewards. I think that work, with friends or family.
It's about figuring out what makes people feel appreciated. For one person, it might be a thank you note. For another, it's doing something nice for them. Or just listening and being there for them.
Speaking their love language.
Exactly. You're showing them you get them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some big deal.
Yeah, small stuff can matter a lot. So being thoughtful, being there for them, making those connections.
Right. It can make their day. And yours too, probably.
And, we all have those fun friend moments.
Oh, yeah.
Times when we're not at our best.
We're all human. We mess up sometimes.
We got to give each other a break.
Absolutely. Sometimes what you need is just someone to listen. And to remind you that you're not alone.
Oh, that's nice. Makes me think of that last line in the document. And now what is your next move? It's like a challenge, right? You've got all this info. Now what are you going to do with it?
It's about taking what you've learned and actually making changes.
So as we finish up this deep dive, what's your next move? What's the one thing you'll take from this and actually use in your life?
For me, it's remembering that Monday is a new beginning.
Yeah?
A chance to do things better. And whatever comes up, those challenges, those fun friend moments, approach them with an open mind. Be kind, be curious, be ready to learn.
That's what I love about these deep dives. It's not just like learning stuff. It's about using it to make your life better. So go out there, embrace those Mondays. Even if your pancakes are a disaster, there's always more coffee and a whole week of possibilities.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
As an organization that promotes and is committed to respecting human rights and ensuring a safe, secure, and healthy environment for all, the Alberta Teachers Association, ATA, works to ensure that all present or participating in ATA programs and events are protected from violence and harassment. All ATA members are therefore expected to promote and defend the fundamental human rights of everyone engaged in ATA programs, activities, or other ATA work. ATA members are expected to treat one another with fairness, respect, and dignity, and to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, accountability, competence, and integrity as representatives of the provincial association, as well as their respective locals and subgroups. Furthermore, ATA members are obliged to act to prevent violence and harassment wherever possible, and report to the appropriate person in authority any suspected breaches of this policy that come to their attention.